What's going on, people? Wish your man the white bee back once again. So, Johnny Bones Jones has officially, this is super duper official, relinquished his belt and ducked Tom Aspinall. And I was thinking about this in reference to boxing, but it's a bad look. Floyd fought Canelo, which is somewhat similar, right? Canelo was a bigger man. Yeah, Floyd did bring him down 2 pounds or whatever, but he fought the bigger man. And Floyd really was never a 147 pounder. He was 140 pounds soaking wet, if we're honest. He went up to 147 so he didn't have to cut weight. He'd walk around with Joe Public at 151 or something like that. Anyway, this ain't a good look. What I do have though, everyone's probably heard this corny statement he put out there. No good, dead. I've got a leaked video. No one's seen this before. Yeah? This is the true retirement video that was scraped off of John Jones's phone. He didn't want this to get out there. Here we go. Bosh.
Well, folks, it's official. I'm retiring from the UFC after 2 years of ducking, dodging, and disappearing. I'm hanging up the gloves. I went from the GOAT to the dote, duck of all time. Tom Aspinall retired me without even fighting me. I watched that man throw a leg kick on TV, and my soul filed for unemployment. I knew if I stepped in that cage, I'd leave in a stretcher, or worse, on a British meme page. And Dana White, man, poor Dana. He spent years glazing me like a Krispy Kreme donut, called me the greatest of all time, defended me through every scandal, suspension, and steroid test. And what do I give him in return? Early retirement via Aspinall anxiety. I let him down worse than power slap ratings. Let's keep it a buck. I didn't retire because I'm old or injured or washed. I retired because I'm a full-time duck. I transformed from a goat to a duck as my new job. Well, folks.
And there it is, people. That's the God's honest truth, yeah? Aspinall, what did he say? Aspinall anxiety. Aspinall asphyxiation. That's what we'll call it. He choked your ass out. That's what he did. You choked. That's what they call it. When you bottle something, you bottle it. You choked. And I was sitting here sucking John off. Whatever it was. 9 months ago, I said, listen, I don't know what John's scared about. I'd have backed him to beat Tom, but he way too scary, man. John is, unfortunately, new age. He ain't really about it. Yeah? And he forgets the people who laid the groundwork for his own legacy, right? I'm not a UFC follower, but he took out legends to get to his position. They passed him the torch. And for me, I don't expect you to carry on for a million years, but this next guy, this would have been the last guy. There was no one else around. And if he'd have retired after Aspinall, if they dug up another name, I'd say that's fake. This was a super fight. This would have been his biggest fight, much bigger than the Cormier fight, given how it's been built up. And initially, I thought maybe it's a marketing strategy. He's like, yeah, let's push and pull, and then bosh, I'm going to give it to you. And even Dana said the fight was signed. This shows you proper Aspinallixation. Yeah? Aspinall fixation. Just on his neck. And I guess this is the thing. We don't appreciate what John was going through. We can all laugh at him and whatnot, but think about it. Aspinall's what, a 260 pound man? Imagine every day, every moment of your life, yeah, you're being Aspinall asphyxiated, which means that's like, there's an old saying, he stay on your neck, right? Aspinall stayed on John's neck. Wherever he went, he's gasping for air like an asthma attack. That's the truth. So we can laugh at him and say, oh, Johnny Dirk and whatever else, but you ain't had Aspinall asphyxiation before. You haven't been struggling to breathe from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Yeah? So I do empathise with his position. No doubt about it. Dude was on his neck, and he knows it too. It's just a shame that he was in Thailand or something like that, doing some things saying, yeah, me and big news coming soon. Just being a weirdo. And he put this corny statement out on Twitter. Today I'm officially announcing him. It's a dead statement. Rubbish. No good. And then afterwards he says, I'm completely overwhelmed right now. I love you guys so much. Listen, people. Normally, in a normal retirement, that statement might be true. But when you read the comments, he's like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. Thanks, guys. There's not one good comment in there. Yeah, and I'm interested to see what the Johnny Meat Riders, he calls himself Johnny Meat, pause. Why does he love being in, he's like, oh, I think I know what's happened here, allegedly. Yeah? This guy's name is Johnny Meat. Johnny Duck Meat. That's what he puts on Twitter, not my opinion. That's what's on there. Johnny Duck Meat, okay? And he changed that when he got to Thailand. What do we know about Thailand? What does Thailand have a lot of? It has a lot of meat. A lot of he-she meat at that. Right, I think Johnny got to Thailand and was loose as a goose out there with all of the meat girls. Yeah? And they was hanging out the back of him and his legs was weak. Even weaker than they was. He always had skinny legs, but when a few of them he-she's was hanging at the back of him for multiple sessions on multiple days, that took the last little legs out of him. And I think he'll probably buy a holiday home there now. He's probably going to spend 7-8 months of the year in Thailand if I'm correct here. Because once you get a taste of that he-she meat, allegedly, he ain't going back. Yeah? You don't change your Twitter name to Johnny Meat. Where's that come from? Right, pause. Where's the pause at? Johnny Meat, pause. Johnny Meat, no Diddy. Corny ass cotton picker, man. Get this guy out here. Yeah? This dude here, he moving like a light skin right now. That's the God's honest truth. Yeah? He making the cotton pickers look bad. I don't know how you defend this. I don't know how you do it. And it has ruined his legacy, in my opinion. It wouldn't have been so bad. Let's say, if he'd have ducked out, there was a period, I don't know. If he'd have ducked out, like, quick, not done the Stipe fight, for example, he should have beat Gan and then said, I've accomplished my goal, I've won the heavyweight world title, I'm out of here. But he hung around and he fought a 50-year-old man, a 50-year-old firefighting plumber, Stipe, long in the tooth, right? And he was trying to get on Piera. It's only because Dana said no. And he likes them fights. Gan's like Piera. Piera's more elite, but you get the point. A striker, that's all he's got. All he can do is strike. So Johnny knows he goes in there and just lays all over. Tangles him up, Piera. What's the other heavyweight? Ngannou. Again, Johnny knows. What's Ngannou going to do? He ain't got no ground game, Ngannou. And he's been knocked out by AJ as well. So he feels confident there. Aspinall more or less is the full package, and he has heavyweight power. For whatever reason, when John was at 205, he didn't ever fight no one with real dangerous power. I can't think. Cormier knocks Stipe out, but it's that Cormier's got more of that wrestling, sloppy power. Look at the floor and swing your hand over type power. It's not. I'd argue that I think Aspinall, from what I'm seeing, he's got more of a boxing ping to his shots. It's more of a whip. It's not like he throws big wide shots, but they're quite elastic when Aspinall lets his hands go. And if you're a trained man, yeah, you understand that's dangerous. Yeah, these muffin top wrestlers like Cormier, you can most of the time you can see it coming. But Aspinall's a big, quick dude. Pause. Yeah, Aspinall coming for Johnny Bones quick. Pause. No Diddy, man. And John knew that. I'm surprised John didn't like that fight, to be fair. Yeah, he'd like Tom Aspinall allegedly coming at him really quick, from what I've heard on the grapevine. But yeah, get this guy out of here, man. I'm only really interested in UFC when I can lick my lips and think, I like this one, still. And this is one of the ones. And I can't remember the last time I was interested in the UFC. It's been a minute, it's been a while. Still. That's what it's been, still. I can't think of one time. This was it. I would have watched this live, most likely. And he'd have made 20-30 mil. That's how scared this guy was. If you thought you could win, yeah, you'd do it. This will be his biggest payday by far. And it might have been up there with Habib versus McSniff. Conor McSniff pay-per-view numbers, 2.5 mil. For a heavyweight fight. The greatest of all time, Johnny Bones, and then the new up-and-coming guy. We know the UK UFC market's kicking off now. There's quite a few dominant, not dominant, but at least brands in there. And Aspinall's one of them. I want to read some of the comments because it's a shame Dana don't have. I thought Dana run this company like they get told what to do. Was John? I'm not sure. Was John out of his contract? I think you can. Dana can't stop you retiring though. He can stop you fighting in other promotions if you have a fight left on your deal. Dana needs to bring back the proper cotton picking contracts, man. If you've got fights left, you're fighting. Simple as that. You're fighting, man. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Get him in there or sue him half to death. Dana needs to change the contract that say, if you've got fights left, you fight. Yeah, or we're suing your ass and you'll have no money left. And that would encourage John. John would think, well, I can not fight and have no money left because Dana can take it all, or I can just fight. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. How old is this dude? And he spent so much time faffing around. He might be 30, not 38 or something now, but he could have been 36. Right, he could have been 36 and a half, 37, rather than 39. He's only 37 now. What the fuck? He's 38 this year, so he could have been 35, 36, which is a fair age. He did start young. He's been knocking around for 15, 16 years, so it has been a quite long career, but man, you was the one playing with it. You was the one digging up Stipe out of his grave. And again, I started this video by saying I don't respect fighters who don't pass the baton on, but look at Stipe, for example. Yeah, the fact John Jones had no problem punching up Stipe and taking the piss out of him, does that make sense? Yeah, that's not honourable, right? If you're retired because you've retired, then do that. I've made a choice. What you don't do is say, oh, he's old, so it's okay for John to abuse Stipe's old body, but he don't want to get in there and have a go with Aspinall. So essentially, John Jones is a bully. That's what this proves. He's not a true warrior like that. He's happy to sit there and think, oh, you're well old. I want to get in there with your old, slow, washed-up looking ass Stipe. Yeah, get him in here and make me look good. Because which is it? If you're genuinely retired, it shouldn't matter if there's an old man or not on the table. You'd say, no, I'm retired. But you're a situational retiree. Yeah? A bully retiree. You don't want to smoke. And I backed you as well. That's pissed me off. I was sucking you off saying, why would John duck Aspinall for? You're crazy. He'd twist him up. Oops. He wouldn't do nothing. Yeah, he won't do nothing. Unless it's with a bunch of he-she Thailandese, what do they call him, Thai? Unless it's with a bunch of he-she Thai brass and broads. That's all he's doing. Anyway, get this guy out of here, man. The less I see of him, the better. Because he wastes my time. He make me look bad. And he's just goofy with it. He's like, I'm gonna ruin Tom's career. Ooh, that's weird, isn't it? It's proper gimpy. He's like a little girl at school, a little boy at school, a little estrogenic transformer boy at school. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah. If John Jones was born 20 years later, he'd have been one of them man who was like, I don't feel like I'm in the right body. That's what Johnny Meatrod would be saying. Get him out of here, man. He's wasting my time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Hopefully, it's a shame, though. Dana mentioned, someone said to Dana, you've wasted Tom Aspinall's life for a year or two. Can't you get over your big, round slaphead and bring in Bongo back? Right? Now, I don't know how possible that is. But I feel like Tom deserves something. And I'd have Tom a big favourite against Mbongo, but it'll be explosive whilst it lasts. I don't think Aspinall will want to roll on the floor with him all night. He might do. But I think there's a chance it kicks off. And that would be a kind of FU to John. Because it will be a similar... John Jones' fight's much bigger. But Aspinall versus Francis Mbongo, that's going to do 1.5, I'd assume. Certainly over $1 million. 1.5 comfortably. And that'll be not as big as John, but at the moment, they're talking about digging Gann up again, I think. Or some other plumber. It's like, really? Or maybe do even Aspinall and Piera. See, if Piera got punched up, didn't he? He's not even champion anymore. But that might be a fun fight. I feel Tom deserves something, though. Not Gann. Come on, not Gann. I don't know about Gann. There's nothing there. It's just another... The heavyweight division is super light in the back. There's no real depth there, is there? There never really has been. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. But Dana's like, I think the ship sailed with him. Like, get over yourself, bro. It's not all about you, you slaphead. Yeah? Do what's good for Tom. He's been the one who's been sitting there waiting, gagging, to have a go on Johnny Bones. He's been gagging for it, man. Anyway, for sure this time. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like with the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this, so people stop it. Yep, bosh.